Selena, Selena. Selena, Selena. Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Ooh, what we talking about? What we talking about? Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Girl, you know I wanna hear it all. I know you got the tea right, right. Lighten up the city right, city light. Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Ooh, what we talking about? What we talking about? Selena, Selena. Selena, Selena. Selena, Selena. Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Ooh, what we talking about? What we talking about? Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Girl, you know I wanna hear it all. I know you got the tea right, right. Lighten up the city right, city light. Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Ooh, what we talking about? What we talking about? Selena, Selena. Selena, Selena. Selena, Selena. Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Ooh, what we talking about? What we talking about? Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Girl, you know I wanna hear it all. I know you got the tea right, right. Lighten up the city right, city light. Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Ooh, what we talking about? What we talking about? Selena, Selena. Selena, Selena. Selena, Selena. Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Ooh, what we talking about? What we talking about? Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Girl, you know I wanna hear it all. I know you got the tea right, right. Lighten up the city right, city light. Tell me what's poppin', Selena. Ooh, what we talking about? What we talking about? Selena, Selena.
Hey y'all, thank you for coming through. I really appreciate everybody that is coming through just to say hello, whether it's to press the like button or it is to just stay around and hear what I gotta say. I really appreciate it. People don't have to support you, so I definitely want to say thank you for all those true supporters and people that really like my content. And thank you so much, April Love, for being a new member. I really appreciate you. Beautiful. You're a beautiful lady. Very nice woman. You guys need to check out April Love. She talks about a lot of different topics, but she's also about improving her life and helping others to improve theirs as well. Pretty Brown, it's always good to see you with your sweet self. I appreciate it. Cutting Edge, one of my favorite people. Traveling Classy, thank you for coming through, sis. I really appreciate your love and your support. Listen, I'm not gonna, and Miss Collins, my sis, my friend, thank you so much for coming through. Like I said, I don't need a lot of people to hear what I have to say, but for those who do come, it means a lot to me. I know it's a lot of drama going on with the Antoine Daniel situation. We got a lot of people talking about it. And, I don't want to dog anyone or be so judgmental of anyone, because I've been in situations to where it was someone that I really, you know, how you really develop a friendship, camaraderie with the opposite sex. And sometimes I wonder, can opposite sex, can we be friends? I think you can. I think less, but I think you also have to have boundaries as well. And it would be great if one or the other or both are not attracted to each other. But, sometimes it end up turning into something else. And you have to have boundaries with people, especially if you are in a committed relationship, such as marriage or engagement, or someone that you're about to be engaged with, you have to definitely create boundaries with the opposite sex, even with the same sex, because a lot of the times you can't have everybody in your relationship. Hey, chill, good to see you. So you have to be very cautious of that, and you have to have boundaries with people. And I talk about boundaries a lot this and especially this year and even last year. I started to create a lot of boundaries with people that I care for because I understood the nature of the relationship. And one thing about me, as much as some people have tried to paint me as, I do have respect for people's relationships. I have respect for people marriages. And there's certain things that I'm not going to do or partake in. It doesn't mean that I'm better than anyone. It just means that I understand boundaries, and I understand that there's certain things that I can't do because of my moral background or my moral standing. And hey, Divine. And as I get older, I realize what my grandmother used to say a lot of the times, like, be careful what you do to others because it will come back to you tenfold. And I'm not saying our grandparents or great grandparents had the best of marriages and relationships, but one thing they did understand about endurance. Now, a lot of their boundaries, maybe were a little shaky because back then we had some our grandfathers. I tell people all the time, I'm double kin to people because one of my grandfathers not only had my great grandmother, but also had my other great grandmother once my other great grandfather died. So basically, my grandparents could have been step brothers and sisters, and they shared children with each other. And so nothing is new up under the sun. Hey Joe, how you doing? Thank you for coming through. Nothing is new up under the sun. It's been going on since the beginning of time. You've had some of the people in the Bible, polygamy was very relevant back then. God did not condone it. He allowed it because of how men were. Men wanted different women. They lusted after all types of women, and they either had concubines or they had multiple wives. So this is something that is going to be an ongoing thing until the world ends, because we as people, we're selfish, we're greedy, and we want what we want when we want it. And sex is a big deal. We are sexual beings, and a lot of people cannot control themselves. I hear a lot about these high value men and how a lot of women want to marry high value men or men with money. And some of the men with money or high value men, their ideal is, well, I make the money, so I should be able to have as many women as I want to. And I would say, just go ahead and stay single and date and sleep with whomever you would like to sleep with. To me, I don't think that people take marriage very seriously. They just see it as a piece of paper. But marriage was really meant to be a covenant between a man and a woman. And I don't understand the ideal in this day and time where marriage is not a big thing. I can do what I want to, and that's why I said, with that type of attitude, you need to stay single. Okay. And when if I really go into marriage, I would say that Eve was brought to Adam out of his rib, right? So that was, I guess, a marriage. That was one of the first marriages we've heard of, if you go by the biblical standard. But like I said, marriage was meant for a relationship between a man and a woman, from my understanding. And it's something a little bit more serious than we think. What happens when a man breaks a woman's hymen? She bleeds. And that is when you hear in the Bible where it says he knew her. And that basically means when that is said in the Bible, that means he slept with her. And most of the time, when you slept with someone, that is usually was supposed to be your wife. That's how originally it was supposed to be. But now, since the world is the way it is, a lot of people sleep with so many people, and to me, it's like love and marriage is just a taboo. It's not anything real. It's not anything. It's just something that is just something that people do and say, but they really don't understand maybe what marriage is. And as I am a single woman, I've seen a lot of men that are married, and again, attraction is attraction. You can be attracted to certain things, but when you are in a committed relationship, you have to understand that even though I'm attracted to someone, I have to have boundaries with that person, because I chose to marry this man. I chose to marry this woman and make a commitment, not not just something, on a piece of paper. And so you boundaries will help a lot of marriages if people really take heed to it and they're really serious. And that's why I had an older person to tell me marriage is not for kids. Marriage is for grown people. It's for two grown people that have decided that I'm going to make a commitment to this person. I'm going to endure. I'm going to be there till death do us part. And it's not to be played with. And I really don't think that people take marriages very seriously. I was looking at and again, I'm not here to judge anyone, but it is something to think about. I do like some of Antoine's political views, but I gotta say, some of his things that he says, and it's no disrespect to him, it's a little shaky. And um and I'm gonna be keeping 100 with you. People have talked about his wife and said that his wife is ugly. She's a dark complexion looking woman. She seems like she's kind of thin built or whatever. But to me, his wife is not unattractive, and but the other woman that he has been seen with, that's supposed to be one of his, colleagues or someone he works with, she's very voluptuous. She's looks like she could be a zodiacal or whatever they call those type of women. She basically looks like an Instagram model. Now, you can be a secure woman all you want to be, but let's just keep it real. If your man is spending more time with you and with someone that looks like that, I don't care what nobody say, I would feel a kind of way. I don't care how secure, how much I love myself, how much I even trust my husband. Sometimes people can set themselves up for failure. And that's why some men got to be very cautious about dealing with the opposite sex, especially if they're attractive. Now, things happen. And a lot of times it's things that are not meant to happen, but we're weak sometimes. And sometimes, if you're in a vulnerable moment in your life, you don't know what you end up doing with someone, especially when your spouse is not around. That's why you already have to have boundaries before you start. And you already have to set yourself up to know that there's always going to be some type of temptation around, but you have to know, okay, what you think you will be willing to do. And if you think you might be willing to do it, then you set up things to kind of block it from happening. Spending less time with the opposite sex, especially if you are attracted to that person. And this woman has been around Antoine for a lot of different events. They correspond with each other and on a podcast. They're working with each other outside of, maybe the public's eye. And so, and even they've been seen in public together. He's probably has been spotted with her maybe more than his wife. And this is, I don't know. So I don't want to just say that as a true, true statement. But I have seen a lot more photos of him with his the other lady than he has been with his wife. And the Bible talks about not having the appearance of evil, because a lot of the things, even though not letting your well be speaking bad of, because a lot of the times, even though we might not have those motives, or we might think it's innocent, it doesn't look right outside of, when people are looking, and when your people are looking at the situation, it does not look right. This woman is attractive. She's voluptuous. She is what most men seem to deem to think as a 10 or a dime, or whatever you want to call it, a baddie. Then you have his wife, also very attractive woman. She just may not be out there like that. And, she may just a little bit more reserved with her dress, with her dressing and everything. So there's, there's speculations, and I don't like to gossip about someone. Hey, Sour Patch. I don't like gossiping about someone and saying this is definite they're screwing each other, or he clapping them cheeks or them yams. I don't want to do that, because that is gossip, that's speculation. We don't know that, but it does not look good. Okay. And I think a lot of people, including him, should take a look at this and maybe create a lot of boundaries, because with you being some people being a public figure, I notice, like some preachers and pastors, they get up in situations like this because they leave a foothold for, as my grandmother would say, a foothold for the devil. Don't play with fire, because you definitely will get burned. And that's what people don't realize. They think, oh, I just want to get to the edge and then I pull back. Well, you might get to the edge and fall right in. So you definitely don't need to put yourself in a situation where you get to the edge and then you fall right into it, or on top of somebody's peen, or or somebody falling on top of you with a peen. So you have to be careful about what you entertain. If you are married, or you in a committed relationship with anyone, you shouldn't be spending a lot of time with someone of the opposite sex that you are attracted to. And that's just period and point blank. There is a situation I have been in where I had to create boundaries with someone. And I care for the person, that person cared for me. But I had to understand that this is not something that I wanted to entertain, because guess what? I wouldn't want anyone doing me that way. See, a lot of times we have to put our selfish needs aside and put ourselves in other people's shoes. How would you feel if somebody was doing you this way? How would you feel if this was happening to you and people disregarded what you felt and who you was as a person, what your position was in a relationship? So those are the things that I think about. Again, I'm not better than anyone. I have made some mistakes. Thank God I haven't made a mistake to where I was with someone's husband, but I do understand that there could have been a situation if I did not create boundaries and understood that I was tempted by something. See, a lot of the times, hi Sean, a lot of the times we're tempted by certain things because, hey, we are human beings. We want to be loved. We want to be known. And a lot of the times, we don't mean to do certain things, but we fall into things because we are not creating boundaries with the opposite sex. So this again is not for no judgment. This is not to say, he's a whore or she's a whore or anything of that nature. But it is to bring awareness that when you are in a committed relationship, it's not just a piece of paper. You've chosen this person to be with for some particular reason. You've chosen to die for this person. You chose to be there for that person. And that person's on their deathbed. So when you've chosen to do those things, and then you just sacrifice it because of your just wanting to feel some new pom pom or some new ping, you are really sacrificing a lot. You're sacrificing not only yourself, but your own relationship, your own love and marriage. And a lot of times, some marriages, when they go through infidelity, they're never the same. Never. They're never the same. They are actually, either it gets worse, and sometimes it can lead to divorce. It can lead to a lot of painful consequences, especially when you have children with people. And you have investments with people. A lot of the things really go downhill from there. So you have to be extremely careful about who you are partaking with and doing these things with. You have to understand that everything there's a consequence. I do not understand some of the things, his antics, when he was, I think he was on KB's live stream, which is Kwame Brown, and he was saying something about he finna go get some head. He about to get on off of here or something he was saying. I don't want to say verbatim, but and I thought that was really disrespectful to his wife or whoever he was getting head from, maybe from a side chick. But I shouldn't say that because we don't know if he has a side chick. Maybe from his wife. To me, that's disrespectful. Don't nobody need to know what your wife and you are about to do. What's going on in your bedroom is between you and that other person. So nobody else should know that you're about to go get some head. Thought that was very inappropriate. Thought it was very tacky. But we're going to hear what this young lady had to say. This is under fair use. Her name is, and I hope I don't mispronounce it. It says Keisha, and she be covering this Antoine situation. I don't think she too much care for him. Again, I don't want to be disrespectful to neither party because, like I said, this is on speculation. But this is a lesson for a lot of people, including me, that just be careful about what you're doing, because when you don't think people are watching you, people are watching you. And a lot of stuff people may not speak on because they mind their business for the most part. But you best to believe if you are doing something and people can see it, that you're open with it, it don't look good. Now, some people ain't gonna tell you because some people want to just stay to themselves. You know, they don't want to get in people's business. But some of the stuff that people be doing is not right. And I know when I'm not doing right. So I know if a person know they doing right. But some people think their conscience is seared, or they think that, oh, it's not a big deal. I'm just playing. This is just YouTube. And then you're going to fall right into the trap that was set out for you. And you can't blame nobody but yourself. So I'm going to play a little bit of this and see and give my little commentary on this.
I feel like I'm in the damn Twilight Zone. Listen, it's going to be my last video, okay? We're going to have to get Anton dusty ass a break.
Hey, Reggie.
Because y'all know his wife said he had multiple personality shit. I feel like I'm developing a couple of them, watching these Negro videos and stuff. But y'all listen, we're going to get into this video because Anton disrespects his wife again. Now, this was one of the number one things we had talked about was him being, with this lady Mika. And instead of trying to maybe be seen with his wife or whatever, he ain't trying to do it. He is actually on his live with another woman. He shows us the lady's name and everything in the phone, and then asks the lady, I guess they're trying to plan a vacation, and he agrees to take the woman out of town. It is so very disrespectful.
So very disrespectful. Whether he's not doing anything with this lady or not, that is so disrespectful for you to even fix your mouth or fix it to where you are arrogant, so arrogant that you don't mind or you don't care what people think, to the point where you're going to pounce around a woman that is not only voluptuous, but she is seen to be a woman that could be on Instagram. And you're going to sit up there, and then people say, you can't judge. The Bible says you can judge them by their fruit. So if I'm seeing some fruit that's rotten, it is what it is. So let's stop with the you can't judge. Because at the end of the day, we do see people and we go by what they do. Now, if you judging somebody about how they look or something like that, that's different. Or how they may seem and you don't know. But if you going by what you see, what I see don't look right. I'm seeing the actions of a person that is maybe disrespectful, in my opinion, to his significant other. Now, people's relationships are their relationships, and maybe their relationship is open. Maybe she's okay with, him being friendly with someone that is seen to be beautiful to a lot of people. Maybe she's so secure within herself, and maybe she's just tired of him. She's like, go on ahead, just just go on about your business. You just never know what their relationship is about. But to me, it's disrespectful. If I'm telling you, if I have a husband and you are openly disrespecting me, and or you secretly disrespecting me with other people, other women, and acting as if you are not married, you're going to have a problem with me. Your head is probably going to be slapped off. I don't play that. I tell people all the time, I'm about as sweet as apple pie, but I am mean as a snake. Try it if you want to. And I'm telling you, I can play the game better than some men. So don't play with me. Okay. So I think that a lot of the times, flirting and all that's disrespectful. Even if your wife ain't there and she can't see you, that's disrespectful. Get your ass together and start paying attention to your darn wife. Now, you chose to marry that woman, so it was something about that woman that you thought was better than all the other women, that stood out above all the other women. You decided to marry this person, right? Stop playing games. Then you get some crazy ass women, you get some crazy women that's already lonely, middle age, ain't got nobody, ain't had nobody in a long time, they horny, and then you give them a little attention, and here they go. Now you in a whole big entanglement. Quit being stupid. You think you getting away with something. You think things are not a big deal, but things are a big deal, and they will add up. I hate when people say, people think it's so serious. You better take your life serious. And a person that's in a committed relationship better take their commitment seriously, or they're going to be alone, dying by themselves. See, it's so many people, men especially, and some women, they out here being whores, and then they can't keep a relationship, and on their dying bed, they ain't got nobody around. Or their kids don't want to fool with them. Don't know if, and if they do, they just maybe one or two because they feel sorry for them. It is my daddy, it is my mama, but they've been so used to horning around here and doing their own thing, and now they ain't got nobody by their side when they dead. Thank you so much, Cutting Edge. So that is very disrespectful for me to see my husband parading another woman around here, flirting with another woman, engaging with another woman like he's engaging, and doing what he's doing. That to me, I don't care. Maybe she don't have a problem with it. That's their business. I understand, but their business is out here on social media. So I can speak on it. Quit being tacky. And it's a lot of men and women, they tacky with their stuff. They openly flirt when they know that they should be committed and be flirting with their wife. And if their wife has some sense and they saw it, they get their head slapped off. Quit playing games with people. And people that think things are funny and think things are, not to judge. Y'all just as ignorant too. That ain't right. It's not right. How would you want somebody to do you? Come on now.
And somebody in the comments.
And again, people say, well, that ain't your marriage. That's their marriage. Again, I'm talking about me, how it looks to me.
I said I need a stand for my mic. I have a stand. I just like to hold it, just so you know. But y'all, let's get into this video. This is crazy. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you have not. Okay. If you have not subscribed to the channel.
Okay, let me get to it.
Okay, guys. So we're going to get into this video. Now, before we get into the video, I know you guys don't watch every single video. So we're going to get later that he had brought Mika. And people have been saying for some time that they felt like there was something going on between Mika. And also somebody told me it was another lady. I think they said Maui or somebody that's on one of his panels. But it kind of got a little bit weird because when Mika addressed the situation, she just never would say Anton's name, which even, made people even more suspicious. We also learned that when Anton and Mika showed up at the 150, their set or whatever that they, do their filming and stuff in, that Mika just darted in, left Anton out there, and it just was weird. And people were like, something is just weird about that.
People can sense certain things. Say, for instance, if I'm observing a situation between a man and a woman, and I have this is I tell you, I have so many stories. I had a situation, where I knew, a man was married to someone, and I saw him engaging with another woman that seemed like she kind of liked him or whatever. Now, to me, he didn't think nothing of it. He's a friendly guy, so he doesn't think anything of it. And what I had brought to his attention was, you might need to be careful about that. I said, because some women, you're nice to them and you play with them, they think you want them. So you have to be very careful about that and make sure that you are communicating that, because some women, if they already have a liking towards you or an attraction towards you, and you show them any type of attention, they're going to take it as if you want them. And he was like, you know what, you're right. I was like, yeah. So I said, you might want to be careful about that. I said, you're a friendly guy. You're a nice looking guy. So you gotta make sure that you're not sending the mixed signals. Okay. And so when I said that, he really understood what I was saying, because I didn't say who the woman was, because I'm just observing and I'm seeing how this woman is, and I'm a woman, so I know other women for the most part. There's a few that I'm like, okay, they're out of this world. I can't understand. So, but I can kind of sense when a woman likes a man, and I can sense when a man likes a woman. And I don't think he really necessarily liked her like that. He was just being friendly. He was being a little too over friendly, in my opinion, that I would want my man to be, because I'm like, nah, don't be playing all that. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind you open the door. You open the door for me, and a woman's behind there, open the door for her. You can do that without looking her up and down, and please, or being, saying any sexual things towards her or whatever. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not that insecure, but some things, it's a little too much. And I'm not the type of woman that takes that kind of stuff lightly. I will leave you there, because I don't play that. And I tell you to go home with her, because some of that stuff that some of these men do, that it's out of line. And I don't find it cute at all. If you don't want me flirting with a man and doing the most, don't do it to me, because I can beat you at your own game. So let me let this go, because honey, I'm very passionate about this. I really am.
So it just seemed like, some tomfoolery
is
going on. Well, what I want to do is I want to get into this video. I was actually reviewing this video for something else, and then I, heard this, and I was like, what the hell is really going on? Now, with everything that people have,
to get to the point,
the way that he even referred to his daughter was even weird. So it's just disrespect after disrespect after disrespect. And I don't remember if you guys saw my video, but before I get into that, I want to show you guys something else, because I was unaware of, Anton's situation, but I am coming to learn that Anton does not live with his wife. He actually has a, what do I want to call it? Like a condo style apartment that he lives in. This is the apartment that he does his, I want to say, his recordings and things of that nature. Now, I want to get into that. This is important because you would think in a marriage, the couple is living together. You would think that. But Anton actually has this apartment in downtown Detroit. And in this video, he's going to talk about his apartment. Well, I shouldn't say apartment. Maybe I think it's classified as a condominium. But that's important because it was, it has been alleged that he's, he messes around on his wife. And based on his own commentary, you got to be stupid to think that this man is committed to his.
And I'm just going to be honest with you. Most of the time, the high value men The men that, even if they're not high value, but they got a good job, a good career, they got money, they think just because they have that, they can go around slinging dick. And what you will understand is these men feel entitled that they can go around slinging dick and that it's okay because I make the money, I pay the bills, so I could sleep and flirt with whoever I want to. And see, that's the type of attitude that should keep you wanting to be single. Be single and do that. Do it with how many hoes you want to do it with, how many times you want to do it with. Why get committed and get in a committed relationship with someone that you chose and have children with, and then decide, hey, well, I made the money, I pay the bills, I can flirt with whoever I flirt, I can sleep with whoever. And I'm like, you need to stay single. You need to stay single. Marriage is a commitment. It's not a piece of paper. And I hate that the world has made it to where marriage is just such a piece of paper. It's nothing. If I don't like you today, I'll divorce you. It's so many. I've heard so many women. They say, oh, he just didn't make me happy anymore, so I divorced him. Do you understand? If you look at a real marriage, you're not going to be happy all the time. Newsflash. You're not going to even like that person sometimes. Newsflash. But that still doesn't mean that you need to get a divorce. People say these vows and they don't even understand what the hell they're talking about. They're just talking. They're just performing and wanting to look good in front of everybody in a wedding. They don't even take heed to what marriage really is. It's about endurance. It says for better or for worse. So that, what does that mean? That don't mean when I get tired of you or when you done gained some weight or when you don't do what I want you to do all the time. It's time for me to divorce or go out there and cheat on you. That's not what it's about. If you're going to do that, stay single. Save everyone the heartbreak. This is just ridiculous to me. And men and women do it alike. It's not just men, but I do hear a lot more men say, if I'm making the money and paying the bills, I can do and flirt with whoever I want to flirt and, be with who I want to be with. I hear a lot more men saying that. But I really just believe that a lot of this stuff is, y'all make, human beings make a lot of things mockery and blame things on God. Like a lot of the stuff that human beings do, I'm wondering, like, are you really thinking what you're doing is okay? I think there's morally right and wrong in all of us, and we know the difference. We even know when we're ashamed about something, when we did something bad. Where y'all think that came from? Like, I don't understand what's going on here. So just stay single. If you're not willing to be with someone and really and stick it out, then just don't get married. It's real simple. What the hell is wrong with these people?
Wife, in this video that I'm going to show you after this one, you're going to see him, you're going to see and hear him say some very interesting things. And I know based on what he's saying, you could not think that this man was in any type of committed relationship because he's married. If you're married, you should be committed to the person you're married to. Otherwise, why are you married, right? So let's get into this video. In this video, Anton talks about his apartment.
What's going on, friends? I promised y'all I would give y'all a little bit of a mini tour of my corporate space downtown. So as you come in, you're going to see a whole Detroit theme, Joe Louis all across the walls, the spirit of Detroit, and then more importantly, the views. We love the views. You can see the Ambassador Bridge. You can also see the Gordie Howe Bridge, which is not even open as a recording of this video. And then you can see all of downtown Detroit, which obviously we got a park all across the city, Motor City Casino, the Michigan train station, and then you can see the Hudson's building over there. A couple different tables to make sure that you can eat breakfast while overlooking Canada and the water. Also a 10-person table that we have meetings at. And then I have people that I'm having interviewing. Sometimes they stay at this apartment. In addition to that, got the high-end liquor, the low-end liquor. Well, it's kind of mixed up, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm dissing anybody. Furniture that seems like nobody sits on, but I actually sit on this furniture and watch TV. And then I make sure I get a really good view of my YouTube plaques. Hopefully more to come, but Ambassador Bridge, 1928.
To me, this seems like a bachelor's crib to me. It's like I wouldn't, if I didn't know he was married, I wouldn't think that this is for a married man with children. I would see this as a bachelor's crib to me, in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with having, your own space, because some men in their house, they have a man cave. Some men have a man cave in their home. So there's nothing wrong with that. But it am I making sense here? Something something's just not making sense to me. And when things don't make sense to me, they just don't make sense. I'm sorry. So and a lot of women are ashamed of being the side chick. And some people, some women are like, well, who's to judge me? I'm a side chick, and so I don't know what's wrong with these men and women out here. I tell you, it's just really heartbreaking to see how people just disregard, their committed relationships just for some ass, excuse me. So yeah, just for some sexual gratification. And I mean, I'm telling you, I gotta catch myself. So sorry about that.
Bob Lobo, 1926. Fox Theater, still standing, but completely redone. Greektown, 1967. The 67 riots absolutely destroyed Detroit, but it's cool. We here now. We back. But all white people on the Greektown photos. Woodward, 1916. A lot of people don't know that Woodward is the first paved road inside of the United States of America. Bedroom is not really important. Outside of the frame TV, which I kind of use as art because I don't really watch TV, but at the same time, it showcases different pictures and then it dims the light automatically because it adjusts to the environment. But it's waking up with no shades, just overlooking the city. It's absolutely awesome. And then we get over to the closet. Not much to see here, but a lot of historic pieces from my perspective. Some of the things that I've worn at shows, other things that I've worn at Patreon meetups.
See, so he's just talking a little bit about all what he got. We don't have to go into all that. But you get the point. It's more like a bachelor's crib than anything else. And it's like I would not sense that this man is married, period. Again, I try not to be so harsh on people because I got my own to go to God for. But some stuff is just too obvious, and it's just like, come on, for real? Like, for real. Just stupid.
Instagram as his corporate apartment, because you're going to listen to a conversation and then you're going to listen to some commentary on him about getting PUSSY, him being in PUSSY, and him getting head. Who
are you getting head and pussy from? Oh, Jesus, okay, see, I be trying my best. Okay, so you saying all this. Do you think that's respectful to your wife to be saying, whether it's from her? I'm finna get some pussy tonight, y'all. I'm finna get some head tonight, y'all. That is so tacky. Like, who the hell needs to hear that? Who needs to know that besides you and your wife? See, that kind of stuff, I don't play that. I'm telling you, I've never had a man to openly disrespect me like that. To say something like that and I hear it and I be okay with it is crazy work to me. I promise you, I am one of them women. I will cook, clean, make sure you good. I'll do it all. But if you disrespect me and I find out, or if I see some disrespect, I'm gonna go. We gonna talk about this. It ain't gonna be, well, let's wait. Now we gonna talk about this. I'm gonna do it as respectful as I can, but I'm gonna let you know, don't play with me. I don't want you. If you don't want me flirting, if you don't want me giggling and all that with another man, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Sometimes some men go too far with their friendliness, okay? And a lot of that friendliness is hot up on some bullshit. You really want to flirt. flirt your ass off. You need to get yourself in order. If you can't flirt and be all lovey-dovey with your wife, then maybe you got the wrong woman. But you should have knew that before you even put a ring on that darn finger. But some people, they get so into how a person look, how good a woman can squirt, or what they can do in the bedroom. And then when it come down to really having a wife, then they're disappointed and then want to go to the next hoe. They don't upgrade. Most of the time they downgrade. So they don't went from a hoe that can dress up good and hide it well to just a straight up desperate hoe. Just go from bad to worse. That's why you need to take your time to get to know people and quit getting so wrapped up in how good a woman can and throw it back and suck you up, that you forget that let me get to know this woman. Do I really like this woman? Is this woman really kind? Is she compassionate? Does she believe in family, having a good family, raising her children in the right way, and submitting to her husband? But you're so busy looking at how good she look and how good she can suck. You ain't even looking at the other qualities. Does this woman make me laugh? Do I enjoy being around her? Can we talk about a variety of different things besides sex? That's why you got to get to know people.
It's just not something that a married man would say, because first of all, what married man do you know that's talking about him having sex with his wife, and then he's talking about getting head? So are you really on live talking about your wife sucking you know what I mean? So it's clear that he's not talking about his wife, but it's really cringy, and it just goes to how weird this sucker.
B-O-B-T, you do all that, but are you willing to be a wife? That's the question. What is a wife to you? A wife to me is being a helpmate to my husband. You could be a clean woman. You could suck it. You can throw it back. You can take care of children and all of that. But are you willing to be a helpmate to a spouse? So what is your definition of a wife, since you asked a question? It's more than cooking and cleaning and sucking and effing, okay? That's what I'm saying. You thought the other side of the fence was green. Who you talking about? Me? I ain't never been on the other side. I've been on one side of the fence. I don't know what you're talking about. Do she put God first? That's the main question. Does she submit her? Exactly, Bob. Now I can understand what you're saying, because I don't know. I didn't understand what you're saying. But everybody does not have that type of ideal. But if we are talking about in the biblical sense, yes. Does she submit to God first? Do he submit to God first? Because if he submit to God first, then he ain't gonna be trying to get me in the bed so quick. He gonna want to get to know me and treat me like first of all, a sister in Christ. He gonna be trying to treat me like a lady. And I'm not talking about buying me stuff when I want it or doing what I want him to do. I'm talking about really being a friend, getting to know me as a person. You see? And so I agree with you on that. A lot of people don't look at it that way, because a lot of people they're not trying to look at it in a biblical sense. But yes, that is true. If you are saying that you are a man that's supposed to be following Christ, then yes, you first need to be submitted to God, and then you can discern if a woman is willing, or if she is submitted to Christ, and you go from there. But a lot of times people don't even take that time to figure it out, because they're so busy just into how a woman looks and what a woman can do at that time for them in the bedroom. Oh, that's the power right there. Oh, I'm just giving. Oh, you said I just put it in that chat. I just told you and said everything. Oh, okay. Well, like I said, of course, I try to understand that everybody's not going to believe like me or you. So I'm just giving kind of like a brief statement of what I'm trying to, articulate of what of what a wife is. But everybody doesn't look at it the way that me and you look at it, Bob. Of course, if I'm looking at a biblical sense, it would be that way, right? But unfortunately, everybody doesn't see it that way. Okay. So that's why I said what I said. But it's all good. I appreciate you for your input. Shout out to you.
Is like, this dude is a sucker. But let's get into it, y'all. I just want you all to hear him disrespect his wife again on live, talking to some chick on the phone about how they're going to go on a vacation out of the country.
Oh man, you got to see this, what they said about you. Oh man, dog, do you know that I'm laid up in some pussy right now? You know what I'm saying? I'm over here trying to get some head.
People, they use Christian very loosely. I mean, I got to be honest, even sometimes I have done it. We got to be careful about what we say and how we respond to certain things. And I even have to sometimes put myself in order a lot of times. So I can be the first to say that. But what I will say is I take accountability, unlike other people, if I am out of order, because a lot of times I can be out of order because I'm going by what I think rather than what is a godly thing. A good thing is not always a godly thing, right? So I get it. He says that he could be laying up in some pee right now. Poom poom or whatever. And he says it as if it's not a big deal, and he ain't said nothing about his wife. He ain't said nothing about it. He's just saying he laying up in some poom poom. And you just heard when she was saying something about he does trips with other women outside of the country. Okay. So if he is coming around to either Corey Holcomb or other people, even on his own platform, and saying, I'm a Christian, but you can't even be committed to your wife. You can't even be submitted to Christ as you say you're a Christian. Be submitted to Christ so that you can be submitted to your wife. How does that work? So somebody lying.
And y'all niggas is over here worried about what another nigga said.
He's Antoine Daniels.
I'm just wondering, when he say he getting head, is it from a woman or a man? Because
hey, 309.
This is a married man. He's talking about getting PUSSY and getting head like he's single. First of all, it's not something that a single man should brag about at his age. But
if you are in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, don't be bragging about how much pee you get, how much, and this is for women too, how much D you get or whatever. That is inappropriate. Nobody needs to know what's going on in your bedroom behind closed doors. And especially if you are married to someone, you should respect your wife and respect your husband enough not to talk about your personal business. And you also should respect them enough not to sit up there and openly flirt with someone that you're attracted to or they're attracted to you. And that's just point blank. And don't tell me about do not judge. You judge people by their fruit. And some people's fruit is just darn near rotten. Okay. So let's stop with the games. Let's stop with the no judging zone. It is what it is.
A married man, this dude is cringy.
Trying to make it stretch.
And here's another thing, guys. He talked about his daughter. His daughter, a 17-year-old, and he's on the internet talking about getting PUSSY and getting his things like.
His daughter is a woman, a young woman, and she's seeing her father say these type of things online. How do you think that that's affecting his daughter? I'm just asking a question. How do you think that's affecting his daughter? But he said he's a Christian man. And a part of being a Christian man, supposedly you're supposed to be submitted to Christ, right? How do you think that his daughter is views are going to be affected about men, about marriage? Just a question.
How appropriate is that? Like, how is that appropriate? You have a 17-year-old daughter who knows that you're married to her mother, and this is the commentary that you're giving. This nigga is weird. He's a weirdo.
I believe that if people got more pussy, I would just start being straight up candid and tell you what's happening. I believe if people got more pussy, they wouldn't be so mad at the hoes, bro.
Well, they said the hoes are winning. So in this day and time, he might be right. The hoes are winning out here. The women that don't have a regard for anybody's marriage or any relationship, they just flirt and think it's or sleep with folks and meet up with folks and think it's nothing wrong with it. Hey, they're winning. But in the long run, will it catch up with them? Well, from what I know, you reap what you sow. So you might not be winning like you think you are. You'll get away with it for a little while right now. It's not that serious, remember? That's what some people think. It's not that serious. I'm just having fun. People take things so serious.
Sent these, so you ready for your next podcast from Kimmy. What's up, Kim? What you done sent me? What's going on here? I'm getting to the studio and I got gifts on gifts on gifts. So I know a lot of these niggas is backed up. Because you can't be that mad all the time. You can't be that mad all the time. Only Kim would do something like this. Only Kim would do something like this. Only you, Kim. Only Kim would do something like this. Only you, Kim. I'm telling you, the women take care of me.
Hello, sir.
I'm on a live stream. I just got your gift.
Oh, good.
You so
Are
crazy.
you ready for your next podcast?
Oh my God, you so crazy. Only you would do something like this too.
You know, you gotta have you ready to go out in the wild.
Facts. Facts. I'm on a live stream just to let you know.
I'm not gonna say anything crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand it. So again, I try not to be judgmental, but just see things for what they are. From what I'm looking at, it doesn't look appropriate to me, and he doesn't seem like a married man. I would actually think that he would be single. You said, imagine he probably speaks to his wife this way, right? Traveling Classy, and that's what kind of concerns me. A lot of these men, the man of the house, they don't mean you can strong arm me. They don't mean you can openly disrespect me just because you pay the bills and you the man of the house. The devil is a lie. We're not doing it. And so people need to really just understand their roles and what leadership. And if you are saying you a Christian man, you supposed to give your life like Christ did for the church. So that means you're not going to be treating me any kind of way. You going to, as the Bible said, you're going to treat me like your own body. That's what that means. So would you abuse your body? Would you mistreat your body? Would you disrespect your body? So you shouldn't disrespect me. You made the covenant with that person. Okay? So let me, because I know I can kind of go in a little bit. I might have Mr. Brainwaves come up, and those who know, Brainwaves is like a brother to me. Now Brainwaves is married, okay? Brainwaves is happily married. And he can tell you once, and when he get a chance, he'll get on, probably within 10 minutes. He will tell you that our relationship has so much boundaries. He has so much respect for not only himself, he has respect for his wife, and he has respect for me. And we have created boundaries with each other. You don't see me calling Brainwaves, or hear me calling Brainwaves every day. I maybe talk to Brainwaves maybe twice or 3 times a year. If he's not coming in my chat, but as far as like on the phone, our communication is very limited because we have boundaries. He has respect for his marriage. I have respect for his marriage. So I'm not going to do anything that would cause confusion, rather. And this man is putting his wife in harm's way for criticism, for people to critique, and for people to dissect their marriage, when their marriage should be between them two and God, right? So as a man being the protector, and if he said he's a Christian, then Christ is putting him the head of the marriage, head of you. There's just certain things he's not going to allow to get to you, because he wants to protect you just like it was his body, his own body, right? So we got to understand, when we throw out certain things, what are we really saying? What are we really portraying? And I know for me, a lot of the times, I have to really ask for forgiveness and repent, because some things I have did, and people know that I'm supposed to be a follower of Christ, but I'm acting a certain way, right? Now, I'm not going to get it right all the time, because sometimes it is what it is. And I'm not going to make I'm not going to make any, excuse on it. I'm going to just say, that's just how I felt. And it was my bad. You know what I'm saying? I can't say God had nothing, or Jesus had nothing to do with it. That was on me. That's on me. Okay. So, yeah, I just think that now I want you to look at her, the other lady. I might go back to that video. But I hope you guys are liking my content. If you can please help me to reach my goal of getting my 5 super chats, I would truly appreciate it. I don't ask for much, but if you like some of my content, please bless me. And yeah, I would appreciate it. Because some people don't be talking about nothing, and y'all just throw money at them. I'm not talking about y'all, but that's just how people are. Now, this is a young lady that he has been seen with. Now, to some people, she's an exotical, or whatever they call those women that are, biracial, or from another ethnic group, or whatever. Our Black men love exoticals. And so, and his wife is just a beautiful Black woman, just as beautiful, but maybe different, So a lot of the times people deem certain type of women better than other because of how they think they look, or what social media finds as beautiful. So, and some of that stuff, you know, it's like, yeah, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Because some of the stuff y'all think is just all of that. I can break. I can. Well, I'm not gonna do that. I ain't gonna say that. But it ain't all what you think it is. Like I say, a lot of times these women, they now I don't think she buys her body parts, but if she do, that's her business. But she does have a great athletic body, um snatch waist, big butt, you know what most men like today. She looks like she could be, I guess, somewhat biracial. I'm not sure. Anyway, some people seem to find that that's beautiful. Now this is around the association, and again, my goal is not to offend, but I just have to be real. There's certain things that I may think that I will say. So hopefully I don't offend anyone. That is not my goal. And this again is, look, who is this person? Oh gosh, why is this doing this? Who is this person that's doing this video? It's around the association. Let me sub up to that person. So
The show with Corey Holcomb, the day they had that explosive blow up, she's speaking out about how things went, you know, how she was supposed to be on the show. I believe Anton mentioned that in his response video, but she's giving her
Miss
side
Collins.
of things.
Hey Chase,
She's
how
one
are
of the
you?
panelists on
Thank you,
one of Anton's shows. I believe it's the After Dark show. I hadn't seen it. You know, just having kids in school and everything, sometimes I'm not able to be up and watch those things, but I do catch some of the replays on some of the topics, you know, that I'm interested in. But yeah, man, she's gonna give her response to this thing right here that Corey Holcomb said.
All the time. Be gone. You done did this before. Get your ass the hey, homie. All right, I'm out. Get your ass the home and walk over there with your bodyguard and your nigga. Walk over there with your bodyguard and your I got to do. Don't bring up here, dog, that you ain't finna stand on.
And since that moment has
right.
been public perception, you know, that she may have been like a side type girl for him. Now, Anton did call her on the live. No, actually, he called his wife on the live that he did the following morning when that footage came out. And she said she loves Mika and all that. So he went on to, you know, clarify that obviously his wife knew about it and it wasn't anything like that, or it wasn't seen like that. But a lot of people that didn't see that still feel like, you know, Anton flew her out there. She wasn't on camera. Was he trying to hide it? Did Corey expose something? So this is what Mika gonna say.
Okay, and my question is, why did she have to go out there with him? Why he didn't take his wife? See, that's what I'm saying. Or why he didn't take, if he wanted one of his colleagues or somebody to work with him, why he didn't take a male with him? Why did he have to take her? Do you see how she looked? Even if they don't have nothing going on, this is good. I mean, this is a good reason for people to look at you sideways. Like, what are we doing? And people can lie and say, oh, I don't judge. Yes, you do. If you know a man is married and he with another woman and the woman is really attractive, it's going to be hard, even if it's nothing going on. It's going to be hard for you not to assume or to think that something could be going on. Now, I'm just going to keep it real. And I don't care what that woman say. Oh, yeah, I love Mika. She's on camera. She's, you know, she knew that Antoine was calling her while he was on live, doing his live stream. What else she going to say? Well, I'm really uncomfortable. And then again, she might not care. I don't know, but because they had been married since they were young, so she might be tired of him anyway. So I don't know, but I can't. Of course, she might say that. I wouldn't say that. I'm gonna be honest with you. He called me. Well, first of all, he wouldn't even try it with me. See, men know who they can get away with stuff with. Some women don't care and they don't pay attention, but some women that pay attention, no. I know women and I know some men too. See, I was raised up partially by my dad, who was a womanizer. I don't let nothing go by me. I see it. And I know when people playing games and playing in my face. So no, I do not understand this. And I don't care what that woman say. I really don't believe in my heart she is really okay with this unless she just tired of him herself. And she just rather, he's like, I don't want to sleep with you. Let somebody else sleep with your butt. You know, unless she like that. But to me, what else you think she gonna say? Just dumb.
She's gonna give you everything about it and all the details. Let's check it out.
And address the whole Corey Holcomb.
Hey, I said
situation.
what I said.
All right, the whole Corey Holcomb incident. Now,
oh Lord, what happened?
What?
I don't know what the hell happened. What you talking about, Cap? Who are you? What's Cap is what what you come in here saying, because I don't know what you're talking about. I'm about Cap. Cap my ass. You let somebody play in my face.
What's going on there, guys?
Brainwaves, that's you? Cam up.
It's me.
That's you. Okay, great.
Yeah, it's me. It's the one and
I gotta
only.
watch these people. They be porn bombing and everything. I don't play that. Shout out to Brainwaves. Now, Brainwaves, you have been like a brother to me. Okay. Most people have seen you on my platform. They no, I'm not upset. I'm not upset, Zoe, but you saying Cap, so I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about, Cap. But I would say be good in the chat because I'll block you in a minute, sweetie. Tell people about our relationship and how we have created boundaries with each other and we don't have them type of problems.
I want to confirm right off the bat what Selena just said. First of all, we don't have no problems, no drama. No one's on social media talking bad about us, none of that, because we established some things off the rip. Okay. We first met as content creators, and then we got to know each other on the phone, what have you, off of social media. We haven't met in person officially due to geographical reasons and just, the nature of circumstances, but we chopped it up enough to establish that we're brother and sister. We ain't going nowhere. All right. And there's certain things that we could talk. It doesn't matter almost what time it is, where it is. My wife knows who Selena is. My wife has spoken to Selena. So it's not like, oh, well, who is this chick he chopping up with? Like, we're good. And everyone on social media knows that. Now, I want to say this. As a male content creator, something you got to do when you have females around you, whether you with somebody, you not with somebody, is you got to make it known to everybody the nature of your relationship. Meaning, are you just business partners? Do y'all actually work together? Is it someone you just from time to time you came across their platform? You might cross paths. You got to let people know. When it comes to this whole Anton Daniels situation with Miss Red Cup Talks, there's a lot of mystery behind that. Now, what do I mean by mystery? The way that Anton said that their relationship is, he put it out as one thing, but the way that it looks to a lot of people, it looks like something else. And that's something that Anton, as someone who put her on, he's supposed to be paving the way, whatever he says that she is, then he needs to reinforce, like, look, we just work together. The fact that she's always around and it's only her. One thing about me, Selena's not the only woman that I'm around as far as female content creators, anything on social media, what have you. So for me, being around a woman, it's not something that's going to be shocking. But with Anton, all you see is he's just chopping it up with her all the time. And it doesn't mean there's never been another female, but she's around all the time, like something going on, or she's trying to have something going on, or she's after something, whether she's just using him for his name, his status, his money, so she can get to a place where she wants to be or not. It's not clearly defined boundaries. So like when Selena said, it's got to be clearly defined boundaries, people got to know off the rip, like, oh, I can't even go there and make a video saying that, oh, well, Anton's got this and she's going there, Danika's doing this and all this stuff, because people are going to look stupid. They're gonna look foolish doing that. Everybody knows, like, man, what you talking about? Why are you wasting time doing a video? Everybody knows what it is. And so the fact that we have this area of question means that there is a potential. Again, I don't want to say for a fact because I don't know for a fact. So I'm not going to speak on something like that I don't know for a fact. But the way the appearance presents itself, it looks like something could potentially be going on. So when you have somebody like Corey or his camp, his crew coming out, you know, like, hey, you know, he said you're beat. You know, I'm trying to keep it PG because there might be some little ones around. You know, we got ice and snowstorms and stuff like that. So the little ones might be around. But he said you're beat. You know, he told Anton, you know, go get your beat. Corey is behind the scenes. So he may have seen something. He may have heard something. He may know something that perhaps we don't. And sometimes in moments like that, when it's in the heat of the battle, stuff like that comes out. So you got to establish, especially as a man, I mean, as a woman too, you know, women got to do it too, but as men, we're expected to lead. That's what we're supposed to do. So he got to lead the right way. So Anton is leaving this gray area and it's allowing all of this to go on. He might want that to happen so that they could talk about him, buzz. I don't know, but it's a lot of gray area and it's not clear when you dealing with when he's dealing with women, and his wife is never seen. His wife is never really around. So that's also another question. It's like, okay, what's up with that? And that's why people are talking. Like with me, folks know I don't bring my wife on the camera. I have brought her on camera. I can bring her on camera at any time. That's not a problem. But it's just that she's not involved with me on social media. She's involved in the real world. So off camera, everybody knows. So it's not a surprise if somebody come on camera like, what you talking about? His wife right there. His wife know what it is. So Anton doesn't do that. He doesn't have his wife involved. And that's another thing when it comes to marriage. You're supposed to have your wife involved, your husband involved. I know people don't like it, but you become one, finances, spiritually, mentally, physically, you become one. So there's some area of understanding where you don't have to like take over as the spouse, but people know who you are. They have that respect. They know about your existence. You're not just somebody over on the corner and you just running around. That's what people do when they not married. That's how you treat people when you're not married. When you get married, everything flips. The sanctity of marriage changes anything. Any successful business person, when you look at Bill Gates, you look at Jeff Bezos, you know, regardless of whether they're currently with a wife, they got divorced, whatever, but at least when they were together, you'll see times of, and I know I gave examples of white folks. So somebody crucified me on the cross. You can look at Beyonce and Jay-Z. People know who Beyonce is. People know who Jay-Z is. There's no gray area. You know about their involvement. They let each other rock out and do what they need to do. However, it's known. It's not a mystery. It's like, okay, that's your spouse over there. And see, that's how Anton's moving. So it's a lot of questions with it. And this is what's creating this drama. He's not being clear with how he's making these moves. He's giving confusing signals. I can give Corey credit. I'm not sitting up here saying like I support either one of them. Maybe just on the content creation part or their successful platform part. I could say yeah on that part, but in terms of like the moves they're making, that's another conversation. But at least with Corey, for the most part, he may be going about some things the wrong way, but he makes it pretty clear how he's moving and what's what, and whether he likes it. Now, whether he follows through with something, that's another conversation. But he's making it more clear. Where Anton, he's doing a lot of talking, but it's a lot of confusing mixed signals with how he's making his moves.
Let me ask you this, Brainwaves. When as me being a young lady, and you know, I deem to see myself as attractive. How did I present myself to you? Was I flirtatious with you? How did I show you that I had boundaries as a woman?
You were very respectful.
Okay.
From the rip from the gate. All right. Selena was very respectful. Respectful when we talk online, when we talk off the line. She made it clear. We focused more on the business side, and then we got to know each other. And so then we got to talk more personal. But even so, when we talk more personal, she made it clear, like, look, I'm not trying to go after you. I also made it clear to her. You know, I made it clear to her as well. We both have to do that. I'm not trying to go after her. So it was clear. Any involvement around anyone else, it was the same type of behavior. So it was very clear. There was no, that was our intentions. Now, if that's what we was trying to do, then it was going to come off like that. And I think that's why it's coming off like that with Miss Red Cup Talks and Anton Daniels. Like, I think everyone can smell it. You know, they can smell something's up. Somebody's not being completely honest, even if it was, well, she tried to hit on me at one point in time and then I stopped it, or Anton tried to hit on me. Like, I'm speaking like, you know, speaking for either one of them. Anton trying to hit on me and I stopped him from hitting on me because he married or whatever. I just didn't want to go there. It's just business. Neither one of them made that clear. So it's just to spend that type of time, you flying all the time. It's just one woman. You investing in her. What is it about her that you're only investing in her and not investing in others? I got a business degree, marketing degree. You can ask Celine, you can ask anybody. I invest in multiple females as well as guys. You know, I help the bros too. But just in terms of dealing with women, Selena's not the only woman that I deal with in that capacity. So nobody's going to look at like, oh, Brainwaves, he doing this for Selena, he doing that. They're going to be like, oh, Brainwaves do that for everybody. So what is it? Why is it that Anton, as successful as he is, whether you hate him or love him or hate him, why is it just her, and where are these other women that he could be putting on? I'm just saying he could be putting on more women if that's really what his goal is, to build his so-called brand and empire, but he's just focused on her. Think about it. When you see us, look, like we're talking to the audience again. When y'all look at us, you don't see me and Selena always together, always doing something all the time. Nope. We have moments. Y'all might catch us rocking out every day for 6 months, and then we might go 6 months and you don't see any content, or we don't even talk or chop it up. There's balance, is what I'm saying. When you look at them, there's no balance. So that's why people like, something is up. And if for Corey to come out and say that, because Corey know what it is, he behind the scenes. Listen, Selena's a content creator. I'm a content creator. Any other content creators that are watching know exactly what I'm saying. Y'all know what time it is behind the scenes when the cameras go off. We talk, word gets around, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So for Corey to say that, something is up there that they trying to be quiet. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Anton's wife is cool. I've heard rumors. Maybe they got an open marriage. I don't know what the details are because I haven't done the research. People that watch me know I'm not going to speak on something unless I personally look into it and I can stand behind what I say on camera. Right. So I've been trying to not get too deep in this whole situation, though I think I have some videos coming about it, because I don't like drama. Selena don't like drama. That's one thing we both got in common. And we try not to get caught up in it, considering we've had other content creators and other people try to bring us in drama, get us caught up even when we walk away. You know what I'm talking about.
Like,
y'all know, y'all watch Selena. Some of y'all have watched me, and y'all know. So we try to avoid that, because in the long term, it's not professional for your career. It's something that I had to also grow in. I do exposures. I call people out. I talk about things, but what I'm not going to do is just get caught up in some type of ongoing beef with somebody. Y'all like that. Y'all want to see us throw blows or worse. It might make entertainment, but for us as content creators, it's literally the S aside. You're unaliving your career on social media by doing that in the long term.
So what are some of the pitfalls with playing with fire, Brainwaves, when you are a married man or a woman? And what are some of the pitfalls? Because people think that, oh, I can just flirt a little bit, and you know, it ain't no big deal. It's nothing serious. Like, what are some of the things that would probably end up happening when we play with fire?
I'm gonna say it like this: you never know who actually likes you. So sometimes when you're flirting with people or you're doing things, you have no idea on the other end, on the receiving end, the level of potential attraction, desire, etc. that may be there. So if you give that other person a green light, they're gonna up the ante, and that can put you in a situation. What I always suggest is, I know people don't like to do this. I know people don't like to move like this, but you talking about somebody that's coming up on, I'm pushing a dub worth of marriage, coming up on at least 19 years. So I know what I'm talking about.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Literally next month, actually in like, I think it's a week or a week and a half. I gotta look at the calendar. I know the date, but I don't want to put that out because you know how people be on social media, but it's coming up in February. I'll tell y'all that much. So
Okay.
I know what I'm talking about. My wife knows about all these content creators. She knows what's going on. She doesn't really care about getting on social media. She's passionate in terms of caring about what I talk about, what I do, who I'm involved with, and what's going on, but she stays off of social media. And it's something that when you interact with people, you need to let your partner know, especially if it's somebody you're gonna be interacting with quite often, or it look like maybe something's going on. You know, you don't have to go into detail and give like a life story, but at the very least, you know, it might be something you want to say so that your partner knows, your spouse knows what it is, and make sure that they cool with it. Because you know, some people they not cool with it. You might be thinking they cool with it, but they not. Sometimes your spouse can see things that you can't see because they're not directly attached to it. Besides
Exactly.
you. So it's a lot that could be prevented, could be saved before you get caught up in a situation. Like, for example, with this Anton situation, I don't know with him and Miss Red Cup Talks if his wife, if they had a conversation about the moves. You know, Anton like, he could be like, I'm the man, it's my business, I'm the brand, I'm all of this, I'm gonna make my moves, put on whoever. And she might just be like, okay, well, let me let Anton, let my husband do what I do, let him do what he do, so that you know, he can bring in the bacon. Now I mean, I understand that, and of course, you know, my wife, she don't get in the way when it comes to me working. She let me work. She understand. She know what it is. She supports. A lot of y'all got to understand, when you're married, you got to have a spouse that supports you. I know a lot of married content creators all across social media, and I know they're like, especially the guys, their wives support them. I know men, they be traveling all the time. They be away from the wife, away from the kids. Like, they stay on the grind because of what they do. And they're successful on YouTube. These are successful content creators. And you got to have a spouse that know what time it is, that respects you, that, you know, trusts you, et cetera, that knows you're not going to cross certain boundaries.
You're right.
Certain boundaries, like spending that kind of time, we all know what it is, man. If you spend time with anybody attractive and you're alone with them, and you're traveling with them all the time, and it's just y'all. It's not like there's other people around.
Exactly.
Like, Anton is not taking a crew around. Security don't count. Okay. So, like, listen, I work in public safety. I know all about security.
Right.
Security does not count. If Anton was taking maybe a crew around, that could potentially be different. That's the layers in between. But it's just him. Like, when he pulled up at the show, it was just him and Miss Red Cup Talks.
Right.
Security. So what does that look like to people? You got to think, as a content creator, people are looking at every move we make, everything we say, everything we do. People gonna be like, okay, I hear you saying this, but I'm looking at what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at how you're moving. And it looked like something is up between them. If you ask me personally and professionally, I strongly believe one way or the other, regardless of whether what may have went down, whether they actually slept together or not, I strongly believe they either been in a situation where one person came on to the other, one person tried to hit on the other, or something. They may have an understanding. Maybe they are getting it in and they just keeping it on the low. But something, I'm a man, okay? I know what it's like to invest in someone like that. And Anton has not came out and said like, well, this is my sister.
Right. You know good and darn well that's not what that is. Like, come on now. Like it's just people need to really just stop lying. And what do you say about those people that say, well, you judging, you should, the Bible said do not judge. What do you say to that kind of thing?
I'm the wrong person to bring up the Bible when it comes to dealing with life. Why do I say that? Because I'm going to literally give you the Bible. I'm not going to do it today, but those that watch me, those that may be curious to watch me, know I go in. One of the scriptures I'll talk about is 1 Corinthians 6:2, where it talks about that the saints will judge the world, even the angels, and they will judge the world. They're qualified to judge even in trivial matters. I'm essentially paraphrasing 1 Corinthians 6:2 because there's different translations depending on which version you're reading of the Bible. But if we can judge the angels, if we can judge the world, and a lot of people consider these social media stories as trivial matters. Oh, that's trivial. You can't do that. That's exactly what the Bible says. I mean, judging, I think people take the word judging out of context. They say if you address a person or a situation with something, then you judge it. Well, I mean, we got to talk about things. That's the whole point of life. We're here. We got to talk about things. I mean, what's the point of existing in life and you don't have conversations about things? Right. So it's like people just don't want to take accountability. That's really what it is. They don't want to take accountability for their actions. Like, because, for example, if someone is moving right, if they keeping it 100, they moving correct, it don't matter what somebody say because you good, you legit.
Right.
But the people that's not moving right, going to that, you can't judge, don't judge me and all of that because they not moving right. So what we got to focus on in 2026 is making sure we moving right. It's a new year. We all got to keep our ducks in a row and making sure we moving right to the best of our ability. That way, no matter what somebody says, if they even try to go there, they can't go there. For example, Corey would have never said to Anton, get your B. Get your B if he was moving right when Miss Red Cup talks. And this is what I'm talking about. So it's like, I see a lot with Anton, as successful as he is, there's a lot of just bad moves he's making. And this is me coming from a business perspective. This is not even, there's no personal, no social media. It's just, if I was, I don't know, an advisor to Anton, if he came to me, and I have helped other content creators. That's something I do on YouTube. I help other content creators perfect their image. Again, I have a degree in business administration and marketing. Matter of fact, I've got 2 degrees in each. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to that. And it's some of the things I used to do in corporate America when I was in the corporate side. I'm still in public safety now, but you get what I'm saying. I would advise Anton, make him sign off on paperwork saying, hey, this has been presented. He knows, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he's either choosing not to, let's just say if he was choosing to refuse the guidance, then I would make him sign off on that. Like, look, hey, he's been presented. This has been here, but he's choosing not to follow it. And that would prevent him from looking this way. Because it's like he goes around, I'm the man. I got, I'm all about the business. I'm all about this. But look how you're putting yourself out. He's putting himself in these situations. Corey's not in a situation like that. He has people like, I can't believe I forgot her name. I can't believe I just forgot her name. Darlene. Like Darlene on his show. Like he has Darlene on his show, but yet everyone knows it's not just Darlene. It's like Darlene, and then he got the rest of the homies, and everybody's on the show. So it's like the way that Corey's making his moves, no one's really coming out. Well, I mean, you could go there. Like there's some people that tried to go there, but it's nothing that's gonna stick. As far as, is he sleeping with Darlene? Is that his woman? It's pretty clear. If anything, Darlene looks like a straight up business relationship.
Right. That's a good example.
And then Anton is the one that's not moving right. So it's like, one of the things we got to be open and humble enough to learn. Even I think what happened with Anton, he's hit this level of success and he's smelling himself, so to speak, and he's making moves that just aren't good. I've been following everything about it. I just haven't actually made many videos. I think I made one. I know I made one video. I might have made another. But I've been following all the details. I've been watching both sides, everybody talking about it. And he's making some bad moves. It's like the moves that he's making, he's actually making himself look worse than Corey, despite Corey trying to get everybody's wig split on camera.
Yeah, because Antoine says he's a Christian. So it's like, you know, we all have faults and flaws or whatever, but this not looking too good. And I don't think to an extent he's taking accountability, even if he's not doing anything, like how bad this looks for his own wife and his daughter.
Bad. Very bad. Like, can you imagine his daughter? Like, y'all got to think, imagine the daughter, like, you know, like going to school and stuff like that. And then people talking behind the scenes, you know, in class, around, you know, your social life, everybody just talk. Oh, your dad, Anton Daniels here. What's up with that? Your mom, you know, people talk.
Yeah, and you know, ain't crazy. And can you hold that thought? Let me read some of these comments. I wish more people would take marriage more seriously. People get married knowing they're not ready to fully commit. That's by Classy. And yeah, that's true. And I'm gonna read the other comments. Thank you, Ann. I appreciate you too. Thank you for stopping by. And you said people are so afraid they are going to miss out on something if they get married. It's up to you to make marriage fun, exciting, date nights, etc. Correct. Yeah, you know, like I said, thank you for coming through, Byron. Like I said, you know, thank you so much, Pretty Brown Eyes. I appreciate that. Like I said, marriage is not for the faint, for the weak, you know. And you are a married person, so you understand some of the pitfalls and temptations that will come with being married and things of that nature. So what can you explain to me what that means when they say do not judge? Because when I say when I'm hearing that scripture, when it says do not judge, I'm thinking more like if a person is poor or and you judging a person that because they're poor, that they were lazy, things like that. Like you're judging someone as far as putting them lower than you, and you're looking at them in a way that's like under you, in that kind of way. Judging, when they said judge you by your fruits, that's different. So I have to see your actions are the fruits. That's what whatever's in you, it comes out, right? So what you produce is your fruit. And if your fruit is looking like you're very hypocritical, you're not really about what you say, wouldn't your fruit be rotten? And then you can say, I'm judging that person by their fruit. Like, I don't know if you can kind of understand what I'm trying to articulate, but what do you think about that, Brainwaves?
It's absolutely what you just said. That was a perfect example. The whole not judging is when you don't know, you don't have any information, no tea, no receipts, whatever you want to call it, in a matter. So you're just looking at a person, you're looking at a situation, you don't have any details, you don't know what's going on, and then you're judging by making an assessment of what you think about that person or the situation or what's going on. That's really where that comes from. Don't judge because you don't know what's going on. Now, if you know what's going on, if you can see what it is, in this case, we have the court of public opinion that can also see what's going on. It's not just us and our heads and our minds, like maybe it's just me and my tripping and my crazy. You have a consensus where the majority or multiple people are saying the same things. When there's actual evidence, there's actual proof, we can pretty much see what it looks like, then we can comment on that situation. And so that's not judging. That is literally calling the kettle black. That's literally calling out what it is. See, when people say don't judge, but you catching somebody red-handed in the middle of doing something, or they've done something, said something, whatever it is, that's not judging. You have facts, you have proof, you caught them. We're seeing for
Right.
what it is. So, like with Anton, he calls himself a Christian man. It's one thing if Anton dropped the Christian title. All right. But for anybody that's not a Bible believer, you're not trying to follow the Bible, perhaps some other religion or faith that would have that type of look when it comes to the sanctity of marriage. Okay, then conversation, all bets are off. Just do what you do, because that's what you're
Right.
supposed to. But we talking about Anton like, I'm a Christian. A Christian man ain't supposed to be one-on-one with a woman like that. Those are situations, all it takes is one time, one place, the right combination, boom, it's going down. That's all it take. It's going down, because as a man, like, I don't want to hear none of this. Like, a lot of people be playing games. As a man, we know when another woman is attractive.
Right. Let's
Point
just keep
blank,
it
period.
real.
I don't care who, like, even you, Selena, you attractive, you look good. You know what I'm saying? I would not put myself in a situation where I would be in a tempting situation with you like that.
Right.
Especially in one that I got control over. Like, yeah, okay, I got the flight. Yeah, I got the room. You know, I got everything. You're going to be rolling with me. We just going. Now, I work one-on-one with women all the time. I've done studio work because I'm also a producer, songwriter, lyrics. Like, I do everything. So I've been one-on-one with women, attractive women. I've done life coaching in the past. So I've been one-on-one, face-to-face, phone, virtual. Like, I've been in those settings. It's not that I can't handle myself, but that's a professional setting. You see what I'm saying? Like, we in the lab, we in the studio, you know, we're in a counseling session, but just to be, you know, on flights and, you know, in the whip and
Right.
you know, all the time like that's you're creating an environment. You know what's funny? And I'm gonna say something, Selena, and I know you're gonna understand what I'm about to say. Why is it that we'll have men that are married, they'll create more of the environment with a woman they not married to than their own wife?
That's crazy, but it's true.
That's what Anton's doing. When he ain't flying his wife out. Listen,
Exactly.
when I travel, my wife goes with me. A lot of people know she don't go with me every single time, but she's there. Like, she knows who's who. She knows what's what, because that's the excitement of marriage. You go like, hey,
Right.
babe, look, guess what? Look who I'm chopping up with. You know, you can come around. Same thing. She invites me to stuff. Do I go all the time? No, but I'm invited. I know who she's hanging out with, who she's working with. You know, for the most part, it's not like I gotta be around and she gotta be around, but we know. And that's and other couples that I know that are married, they wives know. They even know the men, because, you know, we also got to talk about the DL thing. That's a whole nother conversation. You be thinking,
God. Yeah, that's a mess.
it's a reality though.
Right.
You know, you think
right.
he's safe. Oh, he's out with the boys, and you know, he getting it in, unfortunately. So it's something that I think, again, Anton, I have not seen him even public. You gotta do this publicly, y'all. At some point in time, either you're saying it, you gotta show it. Other content creators can speak, her husband, or you know, his wife, or whatever. Like, people got to speak the same language that your actions are doing. And then we're not seeing that with Anton. So that's why everybody, your wife's at home, you out here with this. Some people are saying she looked better than his wife. You know, that's in the eyes of the beholder. I don't want to get into that.
It sure is.
You know, so it's creating, you know, you got a so-called baddie that you rolling with all the time, and it's just her. Like,
right. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, Mr. Oaks, how are you? I'm gonna play a little bit of this, and then I'm gonna let Mr. Oaks, if you have anything you need to say or whatever. I'm just gonna play a little bit of what we were.
I believe Anton mentioned that.
Let's see.
Topics, you know, that I'm interested in.
Time. Be gone. You done did this before. Get your ass the hey, homie. All right, I'm out. Get your ass the on and walk over there with your bodyguard and your nigga. Walk over there with your bodyguard and your. You prove my point. I got to do. Don't bring up here, dog, that you ain't finna stand on.
And since that moment, it's been public perception, you know, that she may have been like a side type girl for him. Now, Anton did call her on the live. No, actually, he called his wife on the live that he did the following morning when that footage came out. and she says she loves Mika and all that. So
yeah, a bunch of, and she might don't have an issue with her, maybe, but girl, bye. Yes, this is under fair use. A copyright disclaimer under Section 107 Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. So let me keep going.
He went on to, clarify that obviously his wife knew about it and it wasn't anything like that, or it wasn't seen like that. But a lot of people that didn't see that still feel like, Anton flew her out there. She wasn't on camera. Was he trying to hide it? Did Corey expose something? So this is what Mika gonna say. She's gonna give you everything about it and all the details. Let's check it out.
And address the whole Corey Holcomb situation. All right, the whole Corey Holcomb incident. Now, 2 weeks ago, I was told that I was going to go on the 5150 show. And I was excited. All right. I was excited about going on the 5150 show. Last Tuesday, I got on the plane to go from DC to LA. I got to the 5150 studios at about 8 p.m. Pacific time. I met Corey Holcomb. I was introduced to him. He shook my hand. Then about, I want to say 5 minutes before the actual show started, I was told, I can't go on the show. I said, okay, cool. Then I was told that I could sit on the set, but I have to sit off camera. I said, okay, cool. And that's where I sat for the entire duration of the show. Now, the show starts. And as you know, what happened, because it went viral. All right. So if you guys want to see all of that, you can go watch it. It's everywhere. All right. But with all that being said, as that's going on, when it becomes abundantly clear that it's time to go, myself and security go ahead and start to leave.
Okay. So what do you guys think about so far? Mr. Oaks, I don't know if you want to respond, or Brainwaves. Mr. Oaks, if you want to respond, you unmute. Okay.
Well, man, no, she said she wanted to the moment it went wrong.
Yeah.
So it sounds like she was promised, at least this how I got it. Like, you gonna go on the show. You gonna go on there with me.
Yes.
Okay. So I mean that's the way I took it. Yeah, you going on there with me. So, and then it turned out before the show even started, no, you're not even coming up here. You
Right.
can sit in the studio right there and next to Anton, the security guard. But no, you can't come up here on, no, Corey didn't authorize that. And I've heard a couple other videos where people have said, like, wait a minute, did you talk to Corey about this?
Okay.
And Anton said, no, I didn't. Well, bro, it probably ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen.
Okay.
So you ain't gonna be able to bring this woman up here. No, Corey don't even know who she is.
Right.
It's not necessarily something against her. At least that's not how I took it. But it's just like, no, you're not about. That's like me coming up on somebody's show, like bringing my wife or my significant other, and I haven't even had a conversation. Like, bro, hey, I want to bring such up. If they didn't have that conversation, it's just like, no, you shouldn't have tried to automatically. And I'm gonna give you my point blank period opinion about why all this happened later on. But go ahead. I want you to speak on it.
Okay, Brian Ways, do you have anything to say on this?
I can agree as someone who has hosted shows and had guests on my show. Anyone that has been, there's always an approval up front. Okay, there's always some establishment. Sometimes, for example, like us as content creators, we'll open it up to anyone to come on. But to actually be on a camera in a studio, generally speaking, that is a situation where all of that needs to get approved because they have a certain amount of time, they got a budget, they got certain things they're going to talk about, they want to know where it's going to go. And what that sounds like to me is, again, I'm going to reiterate what Mr. Oates said. It sounds like to me that none of that was approved on Corey's end, that Anton didn't have a conversation. Like the conversation might have been in, like, yeah, Anton, you can come up here on my show on the 5150. All right, we'll chop it up. And then Anton's like, all right, bet. And then he promised Mika a spot on the show. That's what it sounds like to me. Like, yeah, you can come on with me. You with me, you can come on. And once that actually got to the reality of being on the show, Corey, they like, nah, they shut it down. Like they said, they allow her to sit up there. It's cool. She could have been there, but she couldn't come on. So it's what that means. Also, too, I want to say, I think Corey, also from a perspective, I don't know if anyone's talked about this, is also protecting his brand, protecting his show, because by having both of them up on the show, meaning Anton and Miss Red Cup Talks, if both of them were on the show, and that can present an image like, okay, you're supporting their lifestyle, the rumored or potential lifestyle. You're okay with that. You're okay with allowing them, Anton, to show her off or bring her around. That can come off to some people in his audience that way. And when Corey doesn't move that way, that's why remember I said that earlier, Corey don't move that way. So he shut that down.
Right. Okay. Let me keep going. This is getting good.
When I get to the door, as I'm going out, I hear Corey Holcomb say, yeah, leave with your security and your bitch. And I'm not going to lie. I was shocked. Because it's very unfortunate that I would be called the B word. Because I had such a positive outlook and a positive take on 5150 and Corey Holcomb. Last year here in DC, I literally went to a Corey Holcomb show. So when I found out I was going on 5150, I was like, oh, this is exciting because I just went to see a show. And now I'm having this experience. So it was very unfortunate. Not only that.
Let me ask you a question, if I may. Let me ask you a question. Okay, is it because you had just went on a 5150 show and you had such high expectations? Or I want you to think about this. Could it have been the things that you were hearing, the things that you took offensive? Could those comments or those words, do you think they were directed towards another person, or do you think they were directed like right at you?
Well, I mean, I can't answer that for her. But what I will say, how it could have been avoided if he was to, number one, go by himself with his security, because the show was for him and Corey Holcomb. But if he was going to bring anybody, it should have been his wife, period. If he was going to bring anyone or a business associate. But most of all, I think he should have either went by himself, or if he wanted to bring someone, bring his wife.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure. Well, let me finish. I'm pretty sure Corey Holcomb would not have mind his wife being there, because that's his wife. This woman, he don't know this woman. This is somebody that he decided to just bring without letting Corey Holcomb know. So therefore, he put her, not only did he disrespect his wife, but he also put this woman in a position to be disrespected. She shouldn't have been there.
Okay, I got you.
Am I right or am I wrong on that? I'm just saying.
I'm not saying you wrong, Miss Lady. I'm not saying you wrong.
I'm not, and what I'm saying is it's not any anything against you. I'm just passionate about what I'm speaking about. Like I said, all this could have been avoided if he would have used wisdom and been like, hey, I'll have a show with Corey Holcomb. I'm going with me, my security. And then, like I said, if he wanted to bring someone, he should have brought his wife. Because even if there is nothing going on between him and that other lady, it don't look right. And what is she here for? That's what Corey Holcomb thinking. What is she here for? My interview is with you, not with her. So where does she come in the picture?
Right.
So so people gotta look at things like that. And like I said, there could be nothing, because like I said, there could be nothing going on between him and that other woman. It does not look right. No, it does not. And to me, it's disrespectful, in my opinion. Okay.
You're entitled to your opinion. We all got, how many opinions is all over the internet every day?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, how are you? Russell said he lied to the woman and said, hold on, let me get this phone off. These people call at the wrong time. Ain't you? Sorry, that's so unprofessional.
That's totally unprofessional. I shall not forgive you for that.
He said he lied to the woman and said she was going to be on the show. He used her for her looks. And see, that's where he messed up at. And that's how I know he's disrespectful to his wife. Because you bringing up this other woman, and she's shapely, she works out probably 7 days a week. Okay, so you bringing this woman up here, and Corey Holcomb's like, wait a minute, my interview is not with you. This woman here, why is she here in my interview with you? And like I said, he put both of those women in a bad position, in my opinion.
Right.
Now, you and Brainwaves, can y'all kind of go back and forth a little bit? I got to go to the ladies' room.
You said Brainwaves?
Yes, sir. What's up,
okay.
Mr.
Okay, what's up with you, bro? I didn't know. Did we have some beef or something? Or we just
no,
she just wanted us to chop it up till she get back.
Yes, I guess. Look. Does she want one of us to play Anton and play Corey?
Yeah. Hey, no. Where's my money at? Where is my money at, lady? Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead. One of the things that one of the things I wanted to add is that even if let's just say if it wasn't talked about up front between Corey and Anton and Corey about having someone else on the show, generally, and I'll take a step back, having someone even come with you to the studio. Generally, it's understood that if you're married, people generally will understand that's almost an automatic +1. Like, even if they're not on the show, they might come along with you because that's your husband or that's your wife or what have you. So, like, if it was his wife that was around, she might have, I mean, I can't say for sure, but she might have actually been allowed to sit with Anton, because generally speaking, the spouse is usually not going to speak up unless the host or somebody says, hey, well, let's get your opinion. What do you think, as the wife in Anton's case? It's more of a understood and an allowed thing just in general, but to have someone else like that come along with you, and that wasn't talked about up front and cleared with the host of the show, and it looked like it could go in any direction and it could completely derail the show. So I understand why Corey was like, nah, man, I don't probably. And then right before the show was gearing to start too, so they didn't have time to like chop it up figure out. You don't know who's who. I do the same thing. Like if I don't know somebody that's coming on my show, I'm not gonna let that person come through. I'm either gonna time them out, block them. It's gonna have to be a conversation later because people do come on your show and they be disruptive, and then they take from airtime. You know, they got an allotted time. You know, it's money. You know, everything is money. So I do understand him doing that, but he messed up by trying to put her in that position that a spouse would be in, so to speak. I don't know if you got anything else to.
Well, I feel what you're saying, bro. It's to a certain extent. A lot of us need to learn online etiquette. So let's say I come into your channel and you talking about a certain topic. Let's say I got a beef with you and I automatically just jump straight into, I hit the link and I don't greet nobody. I don't say nothing. I just jump straight in there and start talking my ish. That's improper improper online etiquette. So I prefer to come into whoever's channel it is, listen what's being talked about, greet the chat. I greet the chat and I greet the host. If I've ever been on your panel, it's always been the same two things. The golden salute and the golden fist. And then I start talking to people. I don't go straight into I may have a couple times, like just went straight into like, let me hit this link real quick.
Yeah.
I've never seen a link that you didn't love, Mr. Host. I gotta admit.
No, I'm just saying it's some I always usually come in when I come in the chat, when I come into the live, I always hit the golden salute and the golden fist. That's for everybody. The panel, the chat, the host, the all them, all y'all. And then I start talking to people. But sometimes I've gone in there and I've just hit the golden salute, golden fist, and just went straight to the stream.
All right, let's get back focused.
All right,
okay, let's go. Let me play this a little bit.
I hear explain the bitch and
damn, what bitch? What?
This bitch on my show.
Who's the explain the bitch?
She is.
I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to know who explained. This some new shit right here. Who is it explain the bitch?
So this is her name is Mika. She was the one that was with Anton while he was on the Corey Holcomb show. So Corey Holcomb, when they had got into it, he told him to get his B, which would be her, and go on about their business, basically. So she's explaining to you in her turn and her interaction, how her interaction went with with Corey Holcomb and the situation. So that's what's going on, Mr. Oaks. So follow it. Okay. All right. Let me keep moving.
Proceed.
Alluding to the fact that I'm just here and it's somebody's side chick. And I'm nobody's side chick. So it was very unfortunate and very hurtful. That I can tell you. That was my feeling from the experience. But with all that being said, I can say this. I still don't have anything negative to put out about Corey Holcomb or the 5150 show. I went for a positive experience. I had a positive outlook on what could have been. but it didn't happen. And again, it's unfortunate that all that transpired afterwards. And I was caught in the crossfire between two grown people that were arguing back and forth with each other. So my outlook is this. I don't have any negative views on Corey. And like I said, it's unfortunate, but I forgive Corey. I truly do. But that was my experience.
So she gives her side of the whole ordeal and pretty much says, you know, ain't nothing going on with her and Anton. It's strictly business. And she flew out there from DC. I know Corey, you know, he was getting his off. Anton was getting his off. It was a very contentious time. It don't seem like she's taking that against him. She's actually a fan of his work, his stand-up comedy. And I feel like, you know, deep down inside, Anton is too. You know, he enjoyed Corey Holcomb's work before he started. Before maybe Corey Holcomb started saying some things online. I don't know who said what first about the person. I know Anton had some things that riled people of color up. Did he say? And I know sometimes you got Corey Holcomb. He'll say anything. He'll say what other comedians won't say because they're scared to lose deals and sponsorships. And so when you have people who speak their mind on both sides, and I'll say that too, you know, Anton will say things that's not popular, you know, to say. And some things they do agree on. And I think, you know, for the sake of the show, maybe next time, if it ever happens, probably won't ever happen, but if it does happen, you know, spend some time on the things you do agree on a little bit more, because I know it got off to a very rocky start.
And you ain't lying, rocky start it was. I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Oaks. What is your final remarks? And then I'm gonna go to Brainwaves. Let's see.
You said about final remarks?
Yeah, I'm about to get off, Mr. Oaks.
Okay. I would say that needs to be a part 2 to this.
A part 2 of this?
Yes.
This live stream. I'll think about it. I'm off again tomorrow, thank God, due to the weather. So I'm really excited about that. I might have something I have to do, but I might go live tomorrow.
Well, think about it. Just think about it. This is a part 2. We all stuck in you in the winter storm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Salute to you. I hope y'all good. I hope everybody around you good.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I've heard people losing. I've heard people losing their electricity and I'm talking about their whole power line. Nothing is working.
Wow,
but
that's crazy.
Yeah, thank goodness some of them had generators and were able to, you know what I mean, maintain. Some didn't. They got the people out here to work on the electricity, because that freeze line, that cold, that'll do it.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Mr. Oaks. Shout out to you for coming up. Brainwaves, what you got to say?
First of all, it was good chopping it up with you, Mr. Oaks. If you have to leave before the final seconds of the show, I tell you, we can learn from this. Everything happens for a reason. So we can learn from this as content creators. Again, it's a new year, it's a new time. And I mentioned this earlier, we have to pay attention to how we're moving, and we got to move better. This whole situation with all of them could have been avoided. And it's just messed up because it's something so simple, and it just caused so much of an upstorm. Like, yes, people are eating off of the videos, you know, they making videos, et cetera, et cetera. But as I mentioned, long term, for, Corey, Anton, Corey, and even, Red Cup Talks. It has a way of, you got to do a lot of work to get up out of that. Being someone that's been in those situations before, with dealing with conflict on social media, dealing with beef, it takes a lot to turn your analytics around. I don't care how big your numbers are, how good they look. It takes a lot to just shift it, to create that type of growth that you had, to get past that. And then it has a way of damaging things you do going forward, depending on the severity of what you're dealing with. In this particular case, it's not over, because there hasn't been between them two some type of resolution talk, like, okay, well, we done with it. We squashed the beef. There hasn't been any of that narrative coming out of either camp. So as it looks, people are just going to run it into the ground. It's going to kind of hang out there until there's another story or something else trending more, and the damage will be done. So, we got to learn from this. I would say this is a situation that could warrant a part 2. If you are able to do it, Selena, I do agree. I will be back at work, but I will also be flexible if I need to be on.
Are you gonna be back at work tomorrow?
I sure will, but I'll be done quite early. So
okay. Well, I'll get with you. I'll call you to see when's a good time we could, and maybe you can also share it with your live stream as well, with your audience.
Yes.
So we can get because look, so we can both get the traction, and people can be introduced to my channel as well as yours. I think that would be a great thing.
Absolutely. I agree.
Well, I tell you, and I'm going to give you a call, but I tell you, I really appreciate this conversation, and, and I guess Brainwaves and Mr. Oates influenced me to go ahead and do a part 2 to this. I really thought it was really a good thing to talk about, because so many people, they don't take things serious enough. And, you get some people, don't take it so serious. It's just YouTube and all that. And I'm like, okay, your marriage and your commitment should be serious, whether the other person take it seriously or not. But, my thing is, people need to stop playing with fire, because they definitely will get burnt eventually. And when they get burnt, they can't blame nobody but themselves, because they have been warned. And even if you're not doing anything, the appearance of it, and people may not say anything, but people are watching, and don't be so quick to go around and say, oh, I'm a Christian, oh, I'm a devoted Muslim, or whatever you are, and you're not trying to walk it like you talk it. And stop using this thing that people, well, you shouldn't judge. No, you need to do what is right. You need to be accountable for your own actions, and quit trying to use a scripture and make it beneficial to you. That's what we all do. We make scriptures beneficial to us, even when we dead wrong. So I think people need to stop BSing and be for real. This is 2026, so we got to stop playing around, and we got to take some things very seriously. Guys, I appreciate everything you guys did today. I've met my goal. I got 5 I think super chats, and then I got some memberships. I really appreciate that love. I didn't expect that today, so thank you so much. Like I was saying, I appreciate people that, support small content creators such as myself, especially women content creators, because a lot of these folks, they'll just throw money to stuff that ain't even, it's like you just throwing money just to be seen at this point. Because some of the stuff people throw money to, I'm like, oh, you could have gave that to the homeless or somebody. But anyway, I appreciate, Miss V, just be a good person, period, and be authentic, and tell yourself the truth. If you out of line with someone, if you're attracted to someone or not, and quit lying and acting like you're not, and that things are not a big deal. So stop it. It's just like you're just lying to yourself. So anyway, love y'all to Reese's Pieces. I really
Selena,
appreciate you.
if I may, real quick, just to add something to what you said earlier, real quick, so that the
Okay.
viewers here, some of them may not be able to make it back, so I want to make sure they have it. Remember when you said, as far as what it looks like Anton and Mika, they know what it looks like. First Thessalonians 5:22 talks about avoiding the appearance of evil, the appearance of sin.
Right.
So they're not avoiding, and that's both of them. They're not avoiding the appearance. It looked like something's going on. So if you profess yourself as a Christian, I don't know, Bible believer, Hebrew Israelite, there's a lot of titles out there. You got to avoid the appearance. People should look and be like, oh yeah, no, that's not going on. Just like how we can look at Corey, like you look at Corey and Darlene, it doesn't look like anything's going on. And they could very well be getting it in. I'm just saying, but it doesn't have the appearance. So I just want to leave that with, everyone so that they can understand, well, don't judge.
And Corey's not married.
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's the difference. Corey is not even in a committed relationship. He do what he do. And so he's single. He can go around here and date different women and flirt with different women. That's single. So that's nothing wrong with that. But when you going around here parading that you married and you've been married with somebody for such and such years and married to one woman, a black woman, then you want to sit up here and parade another woman, which you might very well not have a intimate relationship with, but it don't look right. So, and it could also set you up to fail. So that's what I'm saying. But shout out to the both of you guys. Did y'all have anything else to say before I get off?
I'll say something funny.
No,
ahead,
get off of here before I say something completely silly. And I'll put it like this: I'm waiting for part 2.
All right. Well, we want you to. We don't want to know. We don't want you saying nothing silly. Go ahead, Brainwaves.
I'll say something that has been said throughout time. Women have been the downfall of men. Anton, if you see this, if your peeps see this, watch how you moving, bro. Don't let the situation be the downfall of you in any capacity.
That part. Thank you so much, Brainwaves. Thank you, Red Velvet. I appreciate it. I appreciate those who enjoyed the topic, who enjoyed the live stream. It really means a lot to me. Lets me know that, hey, I'm staying on the right path. Even if I only have 15 to 20 people in here, I'm staying on the right path. I'm not selling my souls for views and likes and getting a whole bunch of unnecessary drama. So thank God for that. So you guys be blessed, and I love y'all to Reese's Pieces. And I am out. I'm gonna play my